Hello, everyone. How are you? It's Jeannie. Welcome to my channel. And if you're one of my long-time returning friends who have been following me, welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. I invite you to subscribe and be a part of this amazing community. I'm just so grateful for all of you. I just want to start off by saying that. So today's video is kind of a blah, blah, blah. You can just put it on and listen to me ramble. Or you can get a great recipe from it. I'm going to show you one of my easiest bread recipes that I make in a pinch quickly. It's kind of a country loaf, a country bread. And super easy, super fast, no fail. And I make a lot of breads, and I do some artisan breads. And of course, I've got Gertrude, my starter, who I've had for a long time, given to me by our dear close friends, Brett and Genevieve. And, so bread baking can be very complicated. And that's not the word I really want to use. It can be very involved, certain recipes. And it can take all day and sometimes even, a night, depending on the kind of bread. So I wanted to show you my quick and easy recipe. Okay, easy. If you make this, please let me know. Okay, so I'd love to hear what you think of it. Before I get into that, I wanted to just quickly thank a couple people for some things. First of all, my dear friend Olivia in Florida saw that I was getting a red nose and hair coming out of that fur thing that I was, working on. And I'm kicking something, the cords. And she sent me this to put on my table here. And it doesn't have anything that's fluffing off and going up my nose or into my eyes. So, Olivia, thank you for this. Now, the cool thing about receiving this, she also did a big napping time blanket for me. I've shown it before, I think, and it's been in a couple of my sponsored videos. But she also made one for my cats because the minute I have mine over me, they come and, start thinking it's all theirs. So she made a separate one for my cats. So that was so sweet. Second is my girl Amy over the pond in England sent me this really lovely package of mishmash of things. And some homemade or handmade jewelry. It's a little amethyst bracelet. I have not put it on yet. Listen. Crinkle. Some body butter that I just want to lick. It smells so divine. And there's some other things in here as well. She sent me a bunch of individual tea packets, and they're actually out in my kitchen, and I've gone through half of them, so I can't even show you those. And there were some candies, and those were gone in 10 seconds. So they were like Smarties, the US version of Smarties, those little chalky candies. Oh, I love Smarties. I love those Smarties. Well, they were like that. One was in lavender and one was, I can't remember. I inhaled it. So, and there's this beautiful charm and a lovely note. And Olivia, you wrote me a lovely Mother's Day note, and I appreciate that. So, you girls, thank you. And other cards and things I get, and I don't read them all. Sorry for the noise. But each one truly means so much to me, really, and I feel guilty, it's like, oh, don't send me things, but I'm so touched and honored, and there are going to be things like this blanket that are just forever things for me, and this jewelry, candy and tea and things, sorry, those right away. Okay, so second thing is, in the last couple of videos, or maybe one or two, I have a bruise right here. I've been cleaning out cupboards and organizing, and which means I leave them open, and I walked right into an open one in my bathroom. Well, I was down, and then I came up not realizing it was half open. So the reason I bring this up, I'm trying to hide it with makeup, but if you ever see me with bruises, just know I am my own worst enemy. I am not an abuse victim. I'm not. When I had my really, really bad horse accident, it was bad, and I really thought I was dying. I could feel my stomach filling up with blood. I'd been trampled. And my husband was right there, and he saw it happen. He was, I was bringing my horse into a jump arena, and it's an older video I made. And something spooked my horse, and he reared up, and I went under him, and he came back down. And my husband had his lead, and so he didn't know I was under him, so he's trying to hold him in place on top of me. The thing about a horse is they don't want to step on you. For instance, if you see a herd of horses running at you, pretty much if you were to squat down and, ball up, they would avoid you. They don't want to step on you. They will accidentally step on your foot, which is why paddock shoes, strong shoes are a must. You never wear sandals in a barn. You never wear sandals around a house. I've seen a horse. I have seen broken feet. Not only broken, but when they step, sometimes they pivot. And I've seen feet ruined by stupid horse girls who have, why are you wearing flip-flops around your horse? Sorry for the word stupid, but that was stupid. I never don't wear my best horse shoes, my paddock shoes or riding boots when I'm around the horses. Because they're clumsy or, and they're, or they back up real fast or sidestep. So you horse people, you know what I'm talking about. A horse can move like that. Well, when I got trampled, my horse, Minstrel, I went under him, and I was pretty much trampled from head to thigh. My face was broken. He got me here. Now, he didn't completely step on my face because 1,200 pounds, 1,300 pounds would have crushed in my face. But he nailed me, and he broke from, actually it started up here. He broke up here, here, and here. And I didn't even know that. But then he also got my bicep, ripped out my bicep all over my chest and ribs and stomach and butt and thighs. And I had broken ribs and abdominal lacerations, internal. And anyway, it was a hot mess. So I'm thinking I'm dying. There goes my husband in the tractor. And I'm laying there in the trauma center. They strip everything off of you and you're just laid out, and the trauma team is all around me. Ultrasound, x-ray, you name it. In and out of CT. And I was quite lucky, but anyway, as they're going over my immediate results, they're talking about all my healed fractures, all the things, they call out from head to toe what their findings are. you know, current fracture is this, but also healed fracture here, healed fracture there, healed fracture here, missing this, you know, missing that. And I remember thinking, they will think I'm a lifelong abuse victim. And so I just summoned all the energy I could every time they read something else, and I said, horse, horse, horse. And one of the surgeons, the maxillofacial surgeon, said, why does she keep saying horse? And the other surgeon said, honey, we know you crazy horse girls. You can stop. I just didn't want them to think I was abused by anybody, let alone my poor husband, because I have so many healed fractures from being an avid horse person in my life. So they're like, we know you crazy horse girls, you know, don't worry. So when you see me with bruises, not my husband, cupboards or whatever, back in just a few weeks ago in March, I was talking to the dog like this, and I whipped around, not realizing exactly where I was, and I hit the door frame, and I split open my eye right here, and I could hear that thing crack and split. I probably could have used a stitch, but I mean, it's still sore, but I butterflied it right away. Horse girls or horse people are good at butterflying and, you know, things like that. Horse girls, horse people, am I right? Horse guys. So we know how to quickly, you know, fix something. So anyway, I'll show you, but it's still sore. And I'm like, did I refracture my eyebrow bone? Orbital bone? No. Okay, and last item of business, and this is not sponsored, but there is still time before Mother's Day, and I got these for my mom, these pillowcases from that Mummy Silk sponsorship that I did a couple ago. Let me just tell you, I am so in love, and like I've told you before, I do not say yes to a sponsor from my agent unless I love the product, because I don't have to. And this, look at this. Every night, this is my, I look forward, now under it is the, you know, the pillow, the specialized Drella pillow. But look, this silk is beyond amazing, just beyond amazing. So if you need to get something for Mother's Day, for the mom in your life, for the mom of your kids in your life, a sister, a guy, I mean, girls, you can order these too, but you know, there are guys who are the moms of the family. So you can still use my code. I think it's Jeannie15, and I'll check and put that in the description. But please, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And like I said, this video here is not sponsored. I don't have to say this. But I love these. I would recommend them for everyone. And I'm waking up without pillow face wrinkles. So it's a vanity thing, but it's so luxurious. So there we go. So now I've got my cup of tea. And I'm going to show you, super easy, how I did this bread. Look at this. It's sitting here, smelling up my room. Look at that. Look at that. Num num. And yes, we used 2 French butters with this last night because I'm a French butter nut. Okay, so I'm going to look at the video that I made doing it and just talk, and then you'll hear my voice over this video. Let me know if you have any questions. But let me know also if you make it. Try it. Start it. I think I started this at 11:30 or 12 noon. And I was done by 4. And then I just let it sit until dinner. Excuse me. So let's get started on baking bread. So the ingredients are super simple. And I'll put them in the description as well. So the ingredients are 6 cups of flour, bread flour or all-purpose, yeast, about 2 packets. I have regular yeast. I've got sugar and salt, and 3 cups of warm water, and of course my cup of tea while I make all this. And so putting it together is so easy. You just put everything in the bowl. So I start with the yeast, and like I said, it's about 2 packages worth, and you don't have to be exactly, perfect. Now, you don't have to put in sugar. I put in about a tablespoon of sugar, but you don't have to. I just do. And then about a tablespoon of salt. This is my pinch pot, so my little pinch spoon gets in the way. So about a tablespoon of salt. Just mix that in. And then 3 cups of warm water, about 100 degrees, 100 to up to 105 at the most. And I just put that in, and we're going to mix all that up. So I just take my favorite wooden spoon and just start mixing away. Now, the key to this recipe is you don't overmix, and you do not knead. There is no need to knead. So it's just going to be a very loose and quick mix. And so when it's kind of mixed, I'm just going to incorporate it just a tiny bit with my hands, but not an aggressive knead. Now, here's the easy part. Just get it all down there. I give it a little taste, of course. Make sure the flour is just barely incorporated, and that's it. That is it. I'm just going to leave it right there and put a layer of plastic over it and pop that into the oven turned off with just the light on. Now, I've checked it after about an hour and a half, and it's not quite ready. The perfect time is anywhere about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours. Just watch, depending on how warm your oven gets. You could put this in your refrigerator too and let it sit for a few days. Okay, so once you're ready to start with the next process, put your Dutch oven, cast iron pan, whatever, into the oven. Turn it on 400 and let that heat up for about half an hour. So it's just getting hot. So let's go ahead, and now we're going to take out the bread that has risen. That is a perfect rise. Look at all those beautiful air pockets. And we're going to turn this out onto a just lightly floured surface. And you may need the help of a scraper or a spatula, because as you saw, I did not oil, the pan. If you wanted to oil it, you could, into a fresh pan. You could have done that easily. I don't need to. So we're going to get that out onto the counter with just a little flour. Now, I am not going to knead it. I am just lightly incorporating it into a nice ball with a little bit of the flour, and it should look shaggy and wet like this. And that's it. So, once you've got it into a nice ball, you're going to put it on a big piece of parchment. And this parchment is going to go in that cast iron pan. So you want the sides to be high enough so you can pull it out later. Now at this point, you can score it if you want. I don't. I like the natural rip of the crust. Okay, so I'm taking out that super hot cast iron Dutch oven. It is hot. That sucker is hot. So, and again, the lid was on. So you just take that parchment and plop in that bread. Adjust the parchment a little bit without burning yourself, although I've got scars from doing this, but yeah, so what? And then you're going to put the lid back on and stick that baby into the oven, 400 degrees, again for 1 hour with the lid on. Do not be tempted to check it more than once toward the end to see how it's browning. So 1 hour. And time for my second cup of tea. And this is some of the tea that Amy sent. It's herbal. Oh, it was really good too. So I sat and enjoyed that while I was waiting for everything to cook. Now, because I keep all my good butter in my freezer, I'm getting it out. So I've got this French butter as well as my Ishire. So yum, yum, yum. We have somebody coming over for dinner tonight, and so we're going to do a little tasting. Little does he know. Just comparing the two. Okay, so now it is time to check it, take it out, and just remove the lid. And what I do is I have a bowl of hot water and I'm putting that in the oven because that last 20 minutes with the lid open and the steam is going to add to the crust. So look, here we are so far. And the last 20 minutes will continue to crunch it up. Look at that beautiful split. I love that. So back in this baby goes. And 20 minutes. All right, 20 minutes is up. I've got my hot pad. Get my mitts on. And this is a little off the screen, but you just basically take the parchment paper, pull it up and out without burning yourself, and plop it onto a cooling rack. And here I'll show you. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just so beautiful? And it's got a nice plunk, 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 you know, tappy, hollowish kind of sound. And so I'm just going to let this cool Right now it's about 3:30. Our guest is coming over around 5:30, so it's just going to stay out here on the counter. I covered it with a towel once it was cooled because I don't want to soften it like that. So I just kept it there until we were ready to cut it. And oh, the crunch, crunch, crunch is just my favorite sound. Look at this. It is super, it rises well. It's got nice, air pockets. And I'm just going to cut up the slices now. Oh, is that just beautiful or what? And yes, it's just a simple country bread. And so here we are later on. Everybody's just enjoying it. And hello, Captain. And we had the butter, and I forgot to do the comparison of which was preferred, but we had both of them and enjoyed both of them. So that is it. That is it. Now, I sent home some of the bread with our friend because his wife wasn't in town. And what I told him to do is dip this in egg batter, soak it in an egg batter, add a little fresh squeezed orange and some cinnamon, and then fry it in butter, French toast. And this is country, country fresh. There's just nothing like homemade bread. Now, you guys know I don't like mouth sounds, but look at that. Oh, there you go. This is great toasted with butter and honey or jam, and easy. Easy, easy, easy. Just remember, it's not like a fine, delicate, airy bread. And I make those too, but those require a lot more kneading, a lot more time, a couple of rises. That's not what this is. This is a great country loaf to put on your bread within a few hours. So that is it. I will see you very soon. Let me know if you get the pillowcases or any of that silk stuff, because some of you have, and you've said it's so nice, the pajama top, you could wear it out. Send me a picture of that. Anyway, I appreciate you all so much. You are the best. And I'm going to go have a piece of toast and finish my tea with a nice, I think I'm going to use butter and honey, my Earl Grey, and bid you peace, bid you wellness, and bid you so much love. My husband. Bye for now, everyone.